before the slave ships. Why?
But my thing is, this is my thing about religion. I'm coming.
Well, we're not talking about religion right now. We're talking about history.
Okay, but my thing is, I'm just saying.
So, we're not talking about religion, brother. The whole time we're standing here, we ain't even talking about religion.
Okay, history is in Africa. Our history is in Africa. You probably don't believe we're Africans either.
Brother,
come from Africa.
Brother, if you pay attention to what we're saying,
we'll get back.
We are the Israelites. The Israelites fled into West Africa in 70 AD, which is history, is what I'm spitting out my mouth. That's history. 70 AD, those years. Also in 115 AD, we went into Africa. Why? We were fighting against the Greeks. We were fighting against the Moors. We went into Africa. When I say Moors, there's two types of Moors. There's black Moors and there's the other type of Moor. Arabs. Okay? So we went into West Africa, where we settled down in Ghana, we settled in Sierra Leone, we settled in all these places. When we settled there, guess what? We were keeping God's commandments. We were keeping their commandments. And when we kept the commandments, the white man couldn't come into that area. We were betrayed by the Arabs and our own people. Okay? When we got taken on slave ships, guess what? That's in the Bible. Deuteronomy chapter 28:68 said we would go into another foreign land by slave ships.
Oh no,
that's history.
My age, I try to keep up.
Okay. That's history. It's all in there.
Man wrote that.
Okay. Well, you keep believing that. You keep believing that. We're up here telling you one day you're going to come to understanding that we are the Israelites.
So to answer his statement, he said, I said I didn't believe. I said, yeah, I don't believe that. But what I'm saying was that being that.
Yeah, he called us the Jews.
Church,
you know we're the people.
He called us the Jews. Because that was the one that they put in concentration. He was looking for us.
Absolutely. That's why we're sitting here talking to you. So listen, the reason why we stopped you, first and foremost, we already knew you probably didn't know the truth.
No, I know the truth.
The truth is in this Bible. You say you don't read it. All right, sister, take care.
That's poison right there.
The book of Romans, chapter 3 and verse 3. For what if some did not believe?
So if you don't believe, come on.
Shall their faith of unbelief make the faith of God without effect?
So this is telling you, look, if you don't believe in this Bible, it's not going to change things. It's going to change your future, but it's not going to change God's word. God's word is going to stand.
That book is going to be the book, but at the same time, it ain't for me.
Verse 4, God forbid, yea.
But I don't believe that way.
Let God.
Right.
Brother, we understand there's time capsules on this earth. You may not believe today, but tomorrow you might believe. That's why we're being patient with you. That's why we're being patient with you, bro.
If God ever come out that sky, Jesus come back or something, maybe I would, but until then,
it's going to be too late by that time. By that time, it's going to be too late.
Wait, hold on. Out of all the black people, wait, hold on.
It's going to be too late. Give me that Matthew 25 and 12. 25, 31.
Killing innocent people. People getting killed every day innocently for no reason. And God can't come down and stop.
Once he come down, it's a wrap. Those who already been sealed, you got to be sealed. Don't, hey man, the patience of the saints, man. Do you have patience?
Yeah, I got patience.
Our forefathers had patience.
Not for that.
You got to.
It's like being here.
You got to have patience, bro.
You got to have heaven on earth.
Heaven on earth is these laws, statutes, commandments first.
You get it here. If you don't make heaven here,
hold on, listen to this. This is when he come back on earth.
Matthew 25 and 31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory.
Come on.
And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep.
So he's going to separate his people from all other people. Come on.
Verse 32. And before him shall be gathered all nations.
All and he nations. Shall, the white man, Chinese, so-called Negroes, come on.
And he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand.
Right, the sheep of the Israelites, come on.
But the
not the Kemetic brothers.
But the goats on the left. Then shall the king.
But if he has a certain doctrine in his head, like believing in all these different gods, he's going to be destroyed.
Jeremiah 50.
Hey, look, my thing is, y'all black, right? Y'all trying to.
We're not black. We're Israelites. You're an Israelite. Your forefathers came out the slave ships. You're Israelites.
What's the word black mean?
That's when they gave it to you. That's when they gave you that.
We're already Israelites, bro.
No, bro.
Check, look, man. Go home.
We black.
Get off. Matter of fact, Google that on your phone right now,
I
brother.
love you. We all black.
Google that on your phone if you want to learn. Somebody give him a flyer. You got a flyer?
No, I don't need it.
Yeah, go 51 and 19. I'll give him Jeremiah 51 and 19.
And I hope
Jeremiah 51 and 19.
Help y'all,
hey, brother.
I know I don't need it.
We love you.
God bless you. I pray that you come to the truth, man.
But listen to me.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 19.
And it's not by our will, it's by the Most High's will. Come on.
The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name.
Keep going.
Thou art my battle axe.
He calls the Israelites his battle axe. Come on.
And weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms.
All right, so he's going to set those people that he's going to set on his right hand. Those are the Israelites, but those are the believers in Hamashiach Yahushua, who in the world calls Christ. You got to believe it's true.
The whole world is vast. There's black people everywhere on the
Keep going.
Yeah, but if they don't believe, I need to get to the point.
Get the doctrine, though. Everybody didn't get that.
They'll get what?
That doctrine.
They ain't gonna get the doctrine. They're gonna have to keep the commandments first. Let me ask you: if you was from Canada and you wanted to come to America, could you just walk into America and stay here?
No,
you need a visa. Okay, to be a permanent citizen of America and you're from Canada, what do you have to do? And how do you get citizenship?
You gotta go through the right channel.
Huh?
You gotta go.
You gotta get registered. You gotta take a test. Guess what they're gonna ask you on that test? Who is George Washington? How long has Donald Trump been in office? They're gonna ask you all these questions about their country. Guess if you don't pass, but I'm telling you, I'm trying to give you an example, brother. If you just listen, in order to become a citizen, you gotta pass that test. So what I'm trying to tell you is, according to the Most High, people think that all you gotta do is say, I believe. No, you gotta keep His commandments and believe.
So what has that book done to stop the suffering?
Ezekiel chapter 9, 8 and 4, 9.
Our own people are the devil. Our own people are the devil. Say it, man, right there. That's why he's on that walker right there. He's the devil.
Talk about that, brother, man. Come on, man.
He's the devil. He going up against the Most High's word.
Where your compassion is, though?
My compassion is here, but if he's speaking against the Most High, you know what devil means? Do you know what devil means? Do you know what devil means? Okay, do you know what it means? It means deceiver. You don't believe in deceivers? You don't believe in being deceived? Man, come on, man.
I don't believe no devil.
9 and 4.
You can't call God down and do nothing right
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 9.
You got to keep His commandments, brother. That's all I'm telling you.
Chapter 9 and verse 4.
I'm not here to argue with you. I'm trying to tell you what the scriptures say. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city.
Brother, come over here. If you want to learn, come over here. We got something for you. We got 2 scriptures for you. Come on.
It says, and the
Christ sit there with crazy people. You know, Christ was on the streets. He dealt with crazy people all day long. Do you know he called his own brothers devils? He called Peter a devil.
Do you know what the word love means? It says, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
I see your face, brother. But you understand, when he says, go through the midst of the city and set a mark on the brothers that sigh and cry, that's the abominations that you see thereof. Brothers going against you, brothers who are homosexuality. There's brothers who are homosexual, you know what? They devils too. They deceivers, because they're fooling our people. Our women wearing bikinis and booty cut shorts, they're deceivers too. They're devils.
Verse 5, and to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity.
All right, so the Most High is going to mark all his men that sigh and cry about all these things done in the midst of. And when that angel returns, he said he's going to smite all those who don't have the mark. When you said that all you got to do is say, hey, when Christ break that sky and come down, when he break that sky and come down, you can't say, I repent. It's too late. Because he already marking his people now. He marking them, man. We are trying to tell you that. So you can wake up. That's the reason why you weren't here before us. And it's the reason. Noah was out there over 100 years. Noah was out there over 100 years. And he looked crazy too. We gonna win over the Most High. The Most High is gonna come through the foolishness of our preaching. It's by our foolishness of our preaching we're gonna win over the world. Looking crazy like we are. We ain't got to. The Most High doing it. Look at Oakland. We're up in the West Oakland.
How we gonna stop this homelessness?
The Most High gonna do it.
How we gonna stop aliens, cancer?
It ain't your job to do it, man. It ain't your job to do it.
If God ain't gonna do, who gonna?
The Most High is doing it. You know how he's doing it? You know how he's doing it? Brother, tell him how he's doing it.
Purging.
Purging out our people. He's purging our people out because they are not listening to him. They are not. They hate their own brothers and sisters. They lie on their own brothers and sisters. You go to the homeless programs over here. They stealing from their own people. You know what I mean? They using drugs. Guess what? She ain't gonna do it until they change. Until that time, they're all gonna be bent out of shape on crutches. Luckily, if they're lucky, they're on crutches.
But you don't need that book to change. You know right from
Yes,
wrong.
you do.
You know how to.
Yeah, you're right. You do need right. You do need this book to change.
I'll tell you something. Go ahead. Me personally, I come from the streets just like I'm sure you may.
Yeah, I like what you're doing.
I come from the shoot.
What's up, man?
All right, that's a good dude right there.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you come over here and get some of this wisdom too, bro?
What's your name,
Oh, Mike.
Michael? Shemai Juan. Nice to meet you. I'm glad you stopped by.
Yeah, I'm always start talking to my brother. We still brothers.
That's right. We always brothers, man.
That's why
we're gonna try to win you over to him, though.
No, you ain't gonna do that.
We gonna do that, man.
Hey, bro, no, I was gonna say something. I come from the streets, as well as we all do. I sold dope, drive-by shootings, YA, went there twice, messed with a bunch of women, all that old foolishness, right?
Right.
Since I've been in this truth for about 8 years, hanging out with these two men right here who I came under, I've now gained a conscience. I used to sell dope to pregnant women and didn't think twice about it. Now, if I mess with a sister and it don't go right, I be all jacked up mentally because it bothers me now. That's a change. I'm a man that didn't have a conscience at first. Now I wasn't no killer. But I didn't have a conscience. I used to sell drugs to my own people. Pregnant women, it didn't matter. Now, I can do the smallest of things and it be bothering me. That's a change. See, God change is not Christianity where you go get a mansion the next day. God ain't dealing with that. It's a simple things, my brother. Well, I know. Well, God got something for everybody. He got something for you too.
I just believe in my people.
Give me Isaiah 8.
We the Alpha and we the Omega. It ain't gonna be nothing. It was now.
We're only the Alpha and Omega if we keep His commandments. The commandments are going to be here forever, even until the time of the earth dissipate. The commandments are going to be here.
This whole world will stop taking.
It ain't going to stop because the most. Of course we are. The scriptures tell us that.
Yeah.
The scriptures tell us that.
We all die. Yeah, you're right.
The scriptures tell us if we go, then the stars and the sun, everything else is going to fall. But you got to understand that the Most High is not going to let that happen as long as there's one of us that believe.
Right.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 8 and verse 9. Associate yourselves, O ye people.
He said associate yourselves. You know what association by familiation is? All right, so the Most High wants us to associate with His people that believe. Not with dope dealers that's going to keep being dope dealers.
But Jesus was out there.
Yeah, guess what He was telling them? Change, 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 change.
That's what you need to be.
Give me Psalms.
Associate,
Psalms 119:59.
associate yourselves, O ye people, and ye shall be broken in pieces. And give ear, all ye of far countries. Gird yourselves, and ye shall be broken in pieces.
So he said you're going to be broken in pieces if you associate yourself with the wrong people in every country. You can go to Africa, you can go to China, no matter where you go. If you associate with the wrong people, guess what? You're going to be broken in two. You know what I mean? Give me that in Psalms 119:59.
I got
You got a roll? All right. Hey, brother, every time you see us, stop here. That's how you're going to keep learning, man.
All right,
man.
Now, I don't need to learn. Y'all all right.
Learn, bro. I'm seeing you. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it because you got some understanding. Come on.
Psalms 119 and verse 59. Psalms 119 and verse 59. It says, Psalms 119 and verse 59. I thought on my ways.
He said, I thought on my ways. This is what King David said. You got to think on your ways. Come on.
I thought on my ways and turned my feet unto thy testimony.
Right, so you got to turn your feet to what? To the Most High's law, statutes, commandments, to His testimony about who? Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai Christ. Come on.
I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments.
He said, I made haste, man, and I turned quickly from my wickedness, from my evil doings. I turned quickly. Come on.
I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments.
You gotta keep the commandments. That's the fruits of life. Come on.
The bands of the wicked have robbed me, but I have not forgotten thy love.
Can't forget the law of the Most High. Give me Proverbs 7:2. See, the Most High is simple. He tells us everything in simplicity. But if we're not listening, then it's not simplicity. It's difficult. It's hard to understand. All you gotta do is listen. He's talking to his people, first and foremost, but anybody can listen. It's okay. But first and foremost, it goes to his family, the Israelites.
This is the word of the Lord of hosts. I took you from the pastures and from following the sheep to be prince over my people Israel. I have been with you wherever you have gone and have destroyed all the enemies in your path. I will make you a great name among the great ones of the earth. I will assign a place for my people in Israel. There I will plant them, and they shall dwell in their own land.